Hi guys!
Hey.
And welcome back to the MOCO Collective and our series on the MOCO Home edit. Today we are going to be talking to you about some really important people that we have met so far in our journey, and these are our building professionals. So basically, when we decided that we were going to be moving back to Gladstone, we wanted to figure out how we were going to get a house, or if that was even a possibility for us. We'd started the house buying process before until things had changed and our circumstances had changed. So we had a bit of an idea what to do, but realistically, we had no deposit and we weren't even sure if this was even going to be a possibility for us. So our first stop was to talk to a mortgage broker, which is our first building professional that we're going to be talking about today.
So the reason we decided we wanted to use a mortgage broker was because we wanted to start by getting more information. So we wanted to know what the deposit requirements were, because often you'll see the ads for no deposit or 5% deposit or some variance of that. And we wanted to know what we were actually able to use.
Another part of that was that we'd been told by so many people, our friends, our family, people we met on the street, that we needed a 20% deposit. And honestly, I just couldn't see that happening. We're actually going to be talking about 20% deposits and why you don't need one next week. But suffice to say that we wanted to find out if it was possible, and obviously it is.
So another reason to go to mortgage brokers is that they can provide you a wealth of information that might not be readily available, or you might not get it from a bank. A big thing that they have over the banks is that they have access to multiple lenders. So if you use a mortgage broker, they'll be able to tell you whether the best loan is with CommBank or St. George or ANZ or someone else. Whereas if you were doing it with the banks, you'd have to go to every individual bank to see what deals that they can give you.
Exactly. And that's way too much work for us. So the first thing that we did was research different mortgage brokers in our area and their sort of connections to the other sort of people that we're looking at. So obviously we had to look for land and for a builder. So in our sort of search for that and discussions with those people, we looked for their recommendations of people that they'd worked with and had, you know, people with really great success with. In the end, we decided to go with Chris from Loan Market, and he has been worth his weight in gold. Yeah. Since we were in Brisbane, we had to do a phone meeting with him, and basically we sent all of our information, our finances, everything that we could, and we were able to find out our borrowing capacity.
In addition to that, he was able to give us some indication of rates and other costs and sort of how much extra free or money we would need in our bank account to be able to keep things moving while the grants were being processed, because some or most are not paid initially. You have to actually start the process and then you get the grants at the slab stage.
Exactly. So even though we were able to save all of this money from having grants, it still meant that we need to be able to pay our land deposit before those grants came into play. So I've already started to mention this, but the other building professionals that we needed to talk to were a builder, finding one that suited us and had either a plan or could customize a plan for us, and finding our little slice of heaven that we could put our little house onto. So we'd had great experiences talking to Greta and Troy from Ten Hegler, and they are actually who we had previously been looking at to build a house. So we went through their plans, found one that we loved, and be able to customize a house that suited our needs exactly for what we wanted. So it was really cool that they were able to do that, which is something that we weren't going to be able to do in Brisbane. Mm-hmm. We had been told in Brisbane that if you pick a plan, that's your plan. They could make very minor changes, like, I don't know, changing a door or something like that. But realistically, they weren't going to be changing any of the walls. So that was a huge benefit to building in Gladstone. We also had to decide where we wanted to live. And honestly, we wanted to be living closer to the beach, but also without too much of a drive into town for work. So we found the perfect estate, 10 minutes from the beach, 20 minutes from work, right in the middle there, which also had that really nice
community feel, family feel.
Yeah, exactly. Just one of the things that they've done over Christmas was do a Christmas light competition, and that's exactly what I'm looking for in a place to live. Somewhere that our kids can grow up and have a really nice community feel.
Yeah. The estate where we found the land we wanted was being looked after by Kassie at Locations Estate Agents, and she was fantastic. She made it very easy. She discussed with us and the developer and played a very good middle role in passing on our questions and our offer as well.
And honestly, she was just excited as we were, and I love her.
On your level.
Yep, super on my level.
With the land picked and then also the house plan selected and our builder and all that sort of stuff, we then talked to the mortgage broker to get a recommendation on a conveyancer. So the conveyancer is someone who looks after particularly the land contract and makes sure that it all reads well, that you're aware of all the bits and pieces that you need to know. Like perhaps your land is subject to a building covenant, which means you've got to abide by rules for the area or for the development, and if you don't, then the developer comes in, does it, and charges you. So it just makes you aware of all those things. And then they also look after when you need to pay land deposits and do any title searches or other searches with the council to make sure that the land is what you think it is and the land is actually something that you're legally allowed to buy.
I'm so happy that you're doing this, because honestly, I was just like, can't I just buy the land? What's an easement? Who cares? We were lucky enough to get recommended Karen from By the Rules Conveyancing, who has made this such an easy process. She's kept us in the loop the entire time and helped us decide if this piece of land is what we were looking for.
With the land contract and the build contract in place, now thanks to the builder and Kassie and Karen, we then took all the documentation to the mortgage broker Chris, who then packaged it all up, talked to the banks and found us a lender, and then put all this information into a game plan for us so we could see exactly what was going on, what our interest rates would be, and how much it would cost us over the life of the loan.
So basically, Chris was our financial guru and got everything into place for us.
With everything in place, Chris then managed the banks. Any hurdles that came up, he let us know what they were, but he always had a solution.
Yes.
So whenever we got an email that said hurdle, we always knew that there was going to be a solution at the bottom, so that, yes, it might have been a little stressful and it might not have been exactly what we thought was going to happen, but there was always a solution there so that we knew that we could keep moving forward and how to do that.
So basically, we got the dream team of building professionals helping us get our finance and get into our dream home. So just a bit of a roundup of all the people that we needed to have. We obviously have our builder, Ten Hegler. We have our land sales, who was Kassie from Locations Estate Agents. We have Karen, who did our conveyancing at By the Rules. And we had Chris and Keely from Loan Market, who did our mortgage broking. Basically, this whole thing couldn't have come together without those people. We didn't personally have the time or the information to be able to make the decisions, so it was amazing to actually have all of these people giving us the input that they needed and to tell us everything we needed to do.
Together they made the process super simple and got everything sorted for us in a very short time frame, so that we could qualify for some of the grants the government had going, which we will be talking about in our next video.
We'd really love to hear about your experiences with different building professionals and anyone that you recommend or anyone that you maybe don't recommend. We've shared all of the information for our building professionals down in the description below, but I've also got them over on an Instagram post, so check that out tomorrow when that goes live on our Instagram at the MOCO Collective. Anyway, that's all from us. We will see you in the next video next Thursday. See you then. Bye.
Bye.